I'm Jillian.
And I'm Natasha. And this is Mental Mudslides.
Each episode, we slide down the slippery slopes of our minds. I've got some garden gummies, a head full of wild ideas, and zero filters.
And I'm here to ride that wave and see where our mental mudslides take us. It's all about fun, unexpected turns, and a deep dive into the wacky and wonderful.
You are listening to the After the Slide companion episode. If you have not listened to the full episode titled Fruit, Mafia, and Liquid Conspiracies, go do that now or you'll be confused. Wake up, Natasha. It's time to podcast.
Fuck. All right. Hello, ladies. I am here.
So, we should probably introduce our guest here on the pod today. We have the one, the only, Cherry.
Hello, OG
Welcome.
baby. Welcome. Yay!
Hello.
Applause.
Well, I was the first listener of the first full episode, so yeah.
You were.
You.
We listened to it while drinking in a pool. Like, I mean, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah. That's a good first time for anything, really.
I'm not gonna lie, I heard about Big Raisin that same day. It was a very memorable day for me. Kind of. Like, there's parts of it that are super not memorable. And then there's parts of it that are super memorable.
Oh,
it was a good day, though.
Well,
good day.
So, Natasha and Mudslide mamas and daddies, that was the day that I made Miss Cherry here try my garden gummies. And she got ridiculously need to be driven home.
Gummied.
It was intense.
Oh, man.
I have never laughed so much in a single 2-hour period than I did that day. You know what? I have zero regrets on that. It was a great day.
If that happened to me, I probably would have drowned in the pool, even though you can stand up in it. God bless.
We were outside of the pool at this point, and we had moved on to charcuterie.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. And I invited my husband over because then I was like, you can bring food, so our drunken high butts can maybe function in a little bit.
Yes.
And Mr. Cherry showed up and fed us.
Yeah. One of the great things about men, there are lots of them, but when a lady is in need and she's had too much to drink or too many gummies eaten, you can count on them for, food, getting you into a vehicle, all those kinds of things. Much appreciated, daddies.
Cherry, we're so excited to have you because you sent me a message and said you had so many thoughts. So I'm going to let you take us into your most burning thought from the episode that you're ready to ask a follow-up question on.
Okay, Big Raisin. So
Big Raisin.
I remember
motherfucking Big Raisin.
I remember being high as fuck. And Jillian brings out all of these bags of dried fruits, and she is throwing them on the table like she is passionate about this. And Mr. Jillian and I are looking at each other, and she's like, "This is I need to go public with this," and we're like, "I don't think you should. I don't think."
Go public.
Someone in the FDA is pulling one over on us, and I'm telling you, there is a conspiracy here, and I am happy we blew the lid off of Big Raisin.
Jillian and I had this conversation. Somehow, words were formed. But at what point are you taught that a raisin is a dried grape? When in your life does that come up? Do you remember a core memory when you're you're going to be lied to about raisins for the rest of your life? When did you find out that raisins are dried grapes?
My raisin memory really goes back to the fact that the California raisins were dancing around playing saxophone and all of that jazz. In my limited amount of research, which I did not dive totally into Big Raisin because I almost want to live in an ignorant world where I believe Big Raisin is a conspiracy. But let me tell you the research that I have, the small amount, is that I found a thing that said that the FDA said that raisins could be marketed as raisins because the public generally just understood what a raisin was.
I don't think there was a time when raisins said dried grapes on the package. Like, raisins have been around for so long, like I think they always called themselves raisins. They never told, like, I don't think they ever went through a process of like, we are dried grapes. That's what I'm saying. So like the Coca-Cola thing, like, was that an assumption, or did you find old videos where Bacardi used to call it was Bacardi and Coca-Cola in their marketing?
I found a Bacardi and Coca-Cola video from the 70s, I believe. I
The one
did
thing I do
find an
know,
actual one.
the thing I was just gonna say is the one thing I do know is Jillian's got a like elephant brain. Like, she can remember, I think she might have remembered like the day she came out of the womb. Like, her memory is the most amazing memory I've ever come across in my personal life. And so I was thinking to myself, the Coca-Cola one might be true because I think you said you thought you had seen a commercial, but did you ever see a package of grapes, dried grapes? Like, and that's why you're saying it, or are you just assuming that it did and then they had to switch over once they got permission?
No,
Or did
I
the F
feel like how come they're getting special permission to call something a raisin when every other piece of food has to call themselves their original food name and the process in which it is. So if you are an apple and you have to put on the package dried apple, how come raisin gets a pass because they came up with a cool marketing name?
Well, and you pointed out another example of this, which raised my number 2 question, which is
Funny
ironic
you
that
say.
I it is funny that I say it's my number 2 question because I didn't actually know that prunes were dried plums. But
Yeah,
I kn
yeah,
I know, I
They
didn't know
are.
that. I didn't know that.
no, prunes are
Like,
prunes. Yeah, I get it. No, I'm with you. Yeah,
it's an
there's a point.
it's
That's a
an
point.
Oh,
Yeah.
your
you,
podcast became educational. Your podcast truly became educational. But here's the question that I have. I have not had this personal experience where I have not been able to go to the bathroom and somebody has given me like prune juice.
Yes.
But there is a I think a notion out there that you can take prune juice to make you go poop. You can go number 2.
Yeah, I've heard that.
But does Plums do that?
Yeah, and why is there plum juice and prune juice? Like, and Amanda, I think to be fair, I don't think I knew prunes were a dried fruit because I had never like had it. I think I'd only known about prune juice. So I think I always thought prunes were a fruit, like not like like
yeah.
not a dried thingy, like some sort of other nasty ass fruit out there. I'm like, and why are we doing this to ourselves? Does it work though? Does it like scientifically work? Prune juice.
I have a prune fact I would like to share.
Oh boy.
Oh,
In 2001, plum growers in the United States were authorized by the Food and Drug Administration to call prunes dried plums due to a perception that prunes relieve constipation. Some distributors stopped using the word prune on packaging in favor of saying dried plums.
They had to get
So,
permission to call them dried plums when they actually are dried plums. What the fuck? That's some bullshit.
yeah, in 2001.
That is so strange. That is so strange.
Yeah, right?
So they went
But I
opposite. They're
also,
like, can we please have permission to call ourselves what we actually are? And they're
which
like,
is
okay.
funny because I was in Costco yesterday and Natasha, I sent you a photo and
Yep.
it was of a package of prunes. And right underneath it said dried plums. And I was like, oh, what? Both names? They're calling themselves both names? This is insane.
this clearly occupies a lot of Jillian's life.
It really does. It does. It just bothers me. I have one other thing that I'm going to submit as evidence, which maybe shrivels up the entire idea behind Big Raisin. Um, do you know the origin of the word raisin?
Oh God, no, but I want to know.
I cannot say that I have any knowledge on that.
Tell me. Oh no. Oh no. I'm nervous.
The old French word for grape is raisin. Just
Well, there you go.
discovered this. There it is. But yeah.
You know what, Jillian? I think I'm kind of like on the side of Big Raisin now. I kind of think they're right. I think everybody knows what a mofo raisin is.
I
But
don't think
how?
And
We're
everybody
not
knows.
French.
I don't think
No.
everybody knows.
no, I just like I'm thinking like, the English language, like the lexicon changes over time, right? And I'm kind of like wondering, like, raisins are so ubiquitous, right? Like they're everywhere. You try to like sneak them into kids' food because we hate children apparently. And like everybody knows what, maybe they don't know it's made out of a grape, but they know what a raisin like is, right? It's like a
Mhm.
disgusting miniature prune.
It's a fruit, and fruits are
It's its
bad.
own fruit. Like grape juice. Where's the raisin juice? Is there raisin
It's
juice?
wine. It's so I feel like wine should now be called
Raisin
rehydrated
juice.
raisin juice.
I love it so much. We're gonna have to start calling it raisin juice. You know what, Jillian? We're gonna have to at some point move off of the big fruits. But I do just want to throw out there. Have you ever heard of Big Banana? That shit's fucking wild. The Banana Republic? That shit's fucking wild.
Oh. Oh
Wild.
yeah.
Girl. Death. Death. Cartels.
See, what we think are bananas are not at all
Well,
bananas.
that too.
There's a whole situation none of us understand. but I just want to know a little bit more about the packaging, okay? Like I don't think it's right.
I'm just gonna say, like, and I can't disclose the fruit or more information about this, but Jillian knows. I recently was fully immersed in a fruit world. I
Yes.
can't say more than that. I can't.
She had a learning experience that lasted multiple days about one particular
Mhm.
fruit that was absolutely intense. And our wonderful cherry here, it was not a cherry that you
It was
dove into. We
not
can disclose it was not that fruit, but she was in the world of being involved for 2 or 3
3
days
days.
of one particular
Mhm.
fruit. An entire experience where all that they were doing was talking about this fruit and she was there. Um not participating exactly,
No.
but required to be in presence. Yeah. So very interesting.
Oh, as
Yeah.
a side note, Jillian, that industry also uses AI.
Of course they
Yeah.
do. All industries use AI
Mhm.
right now. I mean, the fruit industry uses it for
Mhm.
manufacturing. They have these really amazing like plotting systems for how they plant, and they can also use AI to help water in specific ways, not only using weather reports, but also GPS tracking to deliver the right type of stuff. And then they can harvest using like all of this AI stuff. It is absolutely amazing. I dove really into agricultural AI use as because I had a class I was teaching and I wanted to make sure I included that. It was insane. I could not believe because I'm AI in the business world. I'm not AI in the agricultural world. Who knew, right?
I'm about to fall asleep. I'm about to fall asleep.
Oh, we lost Natasha.
No surprise. No surprise
Y'all.
there.
I thought, but
All right. Well, Cherry, I have a question for you, which is about the refrigerator bag, the travel roulette refrigerator
okay.
bag that we
Yeah.
pack. What do you think about the items that we discussed that were in the travel roulette refrigerator bag as a fellow gluten-free person? How do you feel about having a refrigerator bag on a trip?
So I can personally list like a multitude of reasons why I hate Vegas. Like, just so many. However, I feel like my perception has changed because of the refrigerator bag. So I will say one of the issues that I have, it is
Yay!
so hard. Like, dear Vegas, get your shit together and figure out how to provide more gluten-free options for food because you're a mess.
It's
It's
insane.
so
It's
bad.
insane.
It's
So bad.
insane. It's Vegas. You can go there for anything. You can like get anything in Vegas. Why is the gluten-free so hard there? It feels like it's easier in Albuquerque than it was in Vegas. It
I
was
think you could get
ridiculous.
an
It
STD
totally is.
It was
before you
ridiculous.
get gluten-free food in Vegas.
Yes,
And
100%.
they
Yeah.
Absolutely.
test their
Drugs,
prostitutes.
drugs, sex, rock and roll.
Yeah,
You could get
Yeah.
hookers, you
Yeah,
could
no
get
kidding.
garden gummies delivered to your room. You can't get gluten-free shit delivered to your room. No,
yeah,
You could get alcohol, you could get anything delivered to your room. Yeah, not
yeah.
that.
So
So,
I personally feel like Vegas has something against gluten-free people, and I don't like it. So anyway, I had
mhm.
questions because I was like, how are they keeping it cold? Because you didn't disclose that until like the very end of the story. So my whole time, I'm like, how long were those deviled eggs like just kind of hanging out in your suitcase? Like, I'm a little bit concerned
Well,
about other GI issues outside of
no.
gluten-free.
So, here's the thing. It is a 2-hour flight to Vegas, less than 2-hour flight to Vegas. And I got to the airport about an hour and a half before and 30 minutes from my house to the airport because I got dropped off. So, all told, we're talking maybe 4 hours in question here. All of the things in the bag stayed into the refrigerator until I was about to walk out the door, and then they all got put in the refrigerator bag, and then I walked out the door. So, 4 hours total, but there were frozen items in there. I also had applesauce packets, and I froze those to use
Yep.
as ice packs as well.
Yep.
And I brought Capri Sun juice boxes that we could then mix with the vodka that I had packed in the bag as well. Because in addition to our 36 Jello shots, we had 2 solid bottles of Tito's.
I have a
Oh
question
yeah, yeah, I
on
forgot
the
about that. It's all coming back,
I
babe.
have a question on the Jello shots. Why Everclear? Why Everclear Jello shots? I feel like I've only ever made them with rum or vodka. Why Everclear?
We were not going to fuck
It's
around. We were
stronger.
ready to party.
We were not
Let's
fucking.
do it.
Yeah. So in Florida, it's common to use Everclear for Jello shots. So that's what I'm used to, and then it's just stronger, and it kind of um. I think the setting of it makes it a little bit stiffer, and I like a stiffer Jello. I know you're allowed to like do it like any stiffness you
I'm
want,
also a
right?
fan of
You
But
stiffness.
like
with
it stiff?
alcohol,
And you know what,
oh
Natasha, though? You
yes.
didn't like how stiff those Jello shots were. Do you remember the ones in the syringes? We had
Oh
to,
no,
like, help
I
each
did.
other push
Yeah, no,
them
I did.
out.
Yeah. No, I did like how stiff they were. They just aren't good for a syringe. Yeah. They're much better in a
All right,
cup.
so stiff.
It really would have been better in a
Do you
cup.
remember our friend that went with us? She couldn't. I could do it. Jillian could do it.
Like,
I mean,
we
I
had to,
think we
like,
like lost brain cells,
help each
but we had
other.
to like push it. We had to,
Sounds like a very
We
fun
couldn't
friend
get the
group.
Jello shots into it. We were, like, pushing Jello shots into each other's mouth, like, just holding our mouth open while the other person, like, used their whole body to depress the plunger.
yeah,
Sometimes
and it was funny because the syringes are like the size of like I don't want to say it on here, like a push pop. Like they're the right size. So imagine something the size of a push pop. You know, other things that you put in people's mouths that
that
are like
also
this.
expels
That exact
liquid
size.
and should be stiff. Got it. Mental picture right
Got
here.
it.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
You know what? Speaking of other things shaped in that manner that you put in your mouth, I'd like to talk about
Straws.
corn dogs and
Oh.
the fact that Natasha and I shoved those corn dogs in our mouth the next day after recording Mental Mudslides.
Well, my brain is so slow this evening, ladies, that I thought you were going to start talking about Jonaconda, and I was like, "Oh,
I
brother,
thought
here
we
we
were
go."
going with straws.
But I'm glad it's
Yeah,
corn
I thought it was going to
dogs.
be the straws and handles. Like,
See, yeah.
Oh.
We're
Oh,
sliding.
yeah. So
Candles.
corn
We're
dogs,
Mhm.
yes.
sliding.
Let's talk about the corn dogs,
Oh,
babe.
I'll let you guys
Corn
take this
dogs.
over.
I was so excited about those damn corn dogs, and they delivered. I was happy with the corn dog. I got the corn dog experience that I wanted. The cheese on a stick that they had, which they didn't call it that because, I think that's trademarked by hot dog on a stick and it was a different place. They just used the wrong type of cheese, but I really wasn't complaining. I would order it again, to be completely honest, like fried bread around cheese. It's just that they needed a sharper cheese to make it happen. But it was really exciting.
Mm,
They had like
mm.
80 options. I gave them a 5-star review on Google today. And Cherry can't wait to come to New Mexico and shove a corn dog in her face.
Can confirm. Can
Yeah,
confirm.
Yeah.
it's exciting. I'll be there for it. I'll be there for it. That sounds like a good time.
Hopefully the environment is a little more lively and fun than the day that we went. It was like, so when I read the reviews, everyone was talking about the great atmosphere and all of this stuff. That is not what we experienced. It was like a sad divorcee dad day at the sports bar. It's about
It was, and you could smell the cigarettes, and it was weird. I thought it was called Clown Dog, so I expected it to be like a hot dog on a stick kind of like environment. And we walk in, and it's like a very old pub that doesn't even look like it's a restaurant. It looks like it's just a pub, and I'm like, where's the large bar of all of the toppings? Like that's what I
yeah.
thought was going to happen, right?
We thought it
Like a
was gonna
taco
be
bar or
like
like
a
all the other kind of bars. No.
Chipotle for corn dogs,
No.
but it was not that. It was they gave you
It was
a
more of
white
like the
box.
American Legion.
Yeah.
Wait, so
It was more like the American Legion of corn dogs.
I have questions. So you said the name is Clown Dog. So shout out Clown Dog because fine.
Yeah.
So
They might not be excited that we
Oh.
disclosed that they felt like an American Legion of corn dogs. They might not like that.
is it not like I feel like so as you're telling me about this and like as I've seen half eaten photos or like pictures of half eaten corn dogs, is it not
Yeah.
circus themed
Yeah.
inside? Because like I feel like that's a missed opportunity.
They tried. It was half-ass
Kind
circus
of.
themed
Uh,
inside, and then
Y
it was like somebody got started on the circus theme, and then they were like, "You know what? On Sundays we watch football and we let the divorcee dads here."
Yes. You know what I think happened? So I'm gonna go conspiracy style, okay?
Let's
I
hear
think this
it.
place used to be a normal straight up pub, right? With like the lacquered wood tables and the pool table and all the old dudes, smoking at the bar and watching sports. It's got that vibe. And then the person who bought it was like, but I like making corn dogs, like the next owner. And he was like, but I don't have the money to like renovate this thing and turn it into something that I don't know, looks more like, I don't know, like In-N-Out Burger or something, right?
Mhm.
So he's like, I'll just like paint a few stripes on this one wall and then throw up a couple of posters from the circus, and ta-da, we are now Clown Dog.
And you know what?
There were no
Like
clowns either, were there? I don't even know. Like,
there were
were
clown
there
like there
clowns?
were like framed pictures of clowns and like circusy stuff and everything.
Oh, okay.
I am going to say this. I do not give two shits about that atmosphere. I will be back and I will eat the corn dogs. God damn it. They are a gluten-free
Oh no,
corn dog place. I will be there. I just want to make it really clear because we've kind of dogged on them.
oh
Pun intended.
oh
But
that's not a no, I'm not. Guys, I find American Legions to be very nostalgic for me. Like, I love that kind of it just was a shock to the system. I didn't mind it. I'd go back, like, let's get drunk and have some corn dogs, 'cause it is still a pub, like, at
Mhm.
its root. But I was just like, I expected to go into, like, a restaurant. And I was like,
Right.
I have been warped back to my grandpa's house. And I always had to go to American Legion on every Sunday with him to watch football. That was a requirement in the family. So it was just very like, where the fuck am I? Like, and
Yeah.
where are these corn dogs?
So, Cherry, I actually, while I was sitting there, I sent you a picture of the menu. Did you see anything that jumped out on the menu that you were like, "What the fuck? I can get this on my corn dog." Now, I know you can't do this because you're gluten-free, but one of the toppings was Fruit Loops, y'all. You could get Fruit Loop for your hot dog. Like because you can also get hot dogs there, and you can get gluten-free buns, or you could get the fried, the corn dog. But you can get Fruit Loops on top of it.
So this might segue into another topic because I don't I don't drink milk and I don't eat cereal. And I'm sure as hell not
Hmm.
putting ice in my milk or my ice milk with cereal. So, no, so back to your original question. I just looked like this is what I do. I go to a restaurant and I just like scan for the GF or the symbol or whatever it is. I looked at nothing else. I was just like, oh my God, I can eat like everything that is on that menu except for Fruit Loops, which is not going to be a sad moment for me.
I need to
I
disclose.
had cactus on mine.
Yes, you did.
I got pickled cactus on mine.
Okay.
I need to disclose what Mr. Jillian had on his hot dog, because I mentioned how and he was not with us when we recorded. Like, he wasn't even at the same house when we recorded Mental Mudslides, so he had no idea about how much I was grossed out by the idea of hot dogs and macaroni and cheese. And the topping Mr. Jillian decided to put on his hot dog was macaroni and cheese, y'all.
That did not slip past me in that moment. I was waiting to see what would happen.
I was
I
like,
was
I'm not gonna
waiting.
say it. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it because he
Should
and I don't even know if he I actually did not ask him if he realized that that was in the episode, because he looks forward to the episodes on Tuesday. Like, he is so excited to wake up on Tuesday and have a Mental Mudslides to listen to, because we're not living in the same state right now, which is really hard for newlyweds now, isn't it? So he had no idea. The whole time I was like, I cannot believe he's putting mac and cheese on his hot dog right now.
Oh my gosh, it was
I have
great.
a core. So I have been dating my now husband for 7 years. I have a core marriage memory where we figured out the proper ratio of hot dogs to one box of macaroni and cheese.
What is it? Oh my
It
gosh. What is the
so
ratio?
I will tell you. And we also freeze our hot dogs in this number because of this like revelation that we had. And it is 3 hot dogs
Wow.
to one box of macaroni and cheese.
Wow.
I love this.
I can't believe you have a recipe for it.
We freeze hot dogs in packages
This
of
is
3.
do you pan fry them before you put them in your macaroni and cheese, or do you just like straight up cold hot dog, chop, throw it in the
No, no,
mac?
no, no. I firmly believe in actually cooking the hot dogs prior to that. Like that was a thing.
Yeah.
But I'm fine with even boiling them. Like as long as they're cooked and then you slice them up and put them in, but like cook them and then add them to your macaroni and cheese.
Yeah.
What do you feel about hot dog water? Is it the most disgusting leftover substance on the planet after you boil them?
It is useless garbage and should be like poured out in the drain. 100%. You don't even give that to your dog.
Wait, do you guys wait, you guys boil your hot dogs in water?
How else would you
That
boil
used to
hot dogs? Milk?
She boils them in
Beer.
beer. No,
No.
see,
Mm-mm.
Beer.
Natasha, people don't actually. So when you're serving kids hot dogs, you don't usually boil them in beer. And we also
I
have
do.
been okay. Well, not if you grew up in the
I
dang
mean, it's not
Midwest. You know what I mean? But yeah, no.
what I mean, doesn't that cook off you can't get drunk off of a beer hot dog.
Are you
I don't know. I made pasta sauce with vodka in it today for my kids.
are you thinking of beer brats?
Yeah, I mean,
I
I
feel
think
like beer brats, those are cooked in
no.
beer.
Oh no, hot dogs.
Usually
Hot
hot dogs are
dogs.
cooked in water. That's
Well,
the Caucasian approach to cooking them. It may not be the best choice, but it definitely is the choice that most
got it.
middle-aged moms. I don't know that that's what we would do today. Like, pan fry them in butter, but that's what our parents did for sure, for sure.
I can't believe you are outing my ethnicity.
I outed my ethnicity by saying that's what Caucasian moms do.
I'm a Caucasian dog mom, so you can just leave me out of this.
Well, I thought maybe because I was Floridian, I'm not Caucasian. So I didn't know if you were like, that's what Caucasians do. And I was like, oh, I guess I'm not
You're
Caucasian
Floridian, so
anymore.
you're just a
No,
different
I'm
breed
I'm
just Floridian.
entirely.
I'm just Floridian. I'm a whole different breed of human. I
exactly.
put Everclear in my shots. I have to be told to make sure to put your shoes on when you go in a store. You know,
No
all the
shoes, no
things.
shirt,
No
no
shoes,
service.
no shirt, no service. Natasha, put your shirt on. Oh yeah, forgot. Like,
Natasha, you're recording a podcast. We're
so for
on video technically right now, but it's okay. Shirts are optional.
That's right. I don't have shoes on. That's good
You
though,
don't
right? That
have
would be
shoes
weird if
or
you
You want
did.
to know
shirt.
what? Okay, hold on, you guys. I'm wearing running shoes. So I have on a robe.
Oh, no.
I have a tank top on. I am wearing pajama pants that are like capri length, and I'm wearing socks and running shoes
I
with it. You know why?
I will.
Because I'm old and my feet have really been hurting. So I'm wearing shoes until I go to bed. So I have house shoes
I
now.
feel like I'm most appropriately dressed for a podcast, which is saying something because it's a podcast. But I am wearing an Antarctica.
Hold on, Cherry.
Yes,
Tell us what you're wearing.
only because you asked in such a lovely voice.
Natasha, can you say that in
Oh,
Spanish? Can
oh
you
yeah,
say
yeah,
that in
yeah.
Spanish in your sexy Spanish voice, Natasha? Do you know what are you
No, I
wearing?
don't know
Okay.
half of those words.
All right.
I can barely speak English right now. I am so sorry.
All right. Well,
Ropa. Fuck. Yeah, no, it's
I'll pretend.
close
no.
It was.
Sorry.
close enough. All right.
I'm
Tell
pretending.
us what you're
I
wearing.
am wearing an Antarctica hoodie because,
Yeah.
representing the number one podcast in Antarctica, I believe. Least,
That was very sexy.
I don't know,
I'm wearing headphones and a smile.
and a blanket.
So, Cherry, you are drinking a glass of wine, and 2 out of 3 of us are dimly lit. And as you recall, dim lighting was
Oh.
Natasha's good date tip. How did you feel about that, Cherry? Do you feel like that was something that needed to be brought back to mind, or do you feel like it was like, yeah, dim lighting is a classic for a reason?
Okay, so this was good to be brought back because I'm like, ooh, 7 years of marriage. Like, well, 6.5 years of marriage, 7 years of dating. So, you know, it's time to remind ourselves of like other times. And yeah, we don't do anything in like dim lighting ever. I'm like, the lights are on, the overhead fan light is on. But I will say, so we have one restaurant that we love to go to, and it used to be like really, really cute and small. And you always had to make a reservation because they had like 10 tables. And like nobody was ever on their phone. So I think that is a component to a date that is very important. So dimly lit, but
Mm.
people aren't getting on their phones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
speak the truth, Cherry. Speak
this
it. Oh
restaurant
my gosh.
expanded. So like yay for them because it's a small local like little business. I love it. Um but it's not the same when people are now like at sitting at the restaurant getting on their phones. So while I was like,
Mhm.
"Ooh, that's our favorite
Yeah.
restaurant to go to," and like it's the atmosphere. So it's the dim lighting, it's kind of like the coziness, it's chatting with the staff and like all of that jazz. But also I was like, "Ooh, like paying attention to each other." Like that's kind of cool.
Yeah, right?
So,
Yes. That's
yeah.
a really good point. Yeah, and
Okay.
I think the dim lighting is it's not necessarily like the light itself, but I think dim lighting has to like it's like not the grocery store, right? Like it's you're outside together alone on a walk at the sunset, right? It's more in a intimate setting usually as well, or just very to your point close together and probably not using your cell phone too much, right?
Mhm.
Like it's just I don't know, it kind of lends itself to certain kinds of dates, right? Like
Mhm.
hockey games are fun, but there's not a chance to make a hockey game ooh by candlelight. Hey,
I would
That
just
might
be
be
drunk at
fun.
a hockey game. I'd be like, we're going to spend way too much money on some booze on a sport that I do not care about at all.
Okay, but Terry, why aren't you
Yeah.
sneaking that booze in? Hello, you could get you could put it you get a
Yeah.
bra that's one size bigger and you put like baggies of booze in your boobs, like
Body shots.
body
Body
shots,
shots.
as Mr. Dick Willie called them. Remember Dick Willie was like body shots, and we were like, that's not what those are.
That's not a
Have
body
you
shot.
two not heard of the wine bra? There's
No.
I've seen a one like I've seen like bras that have
like a
like
bladder. It's
receptacles
like a,
in them,
yeah,
like a bladder. Yeah.
it would be,
But I just
But then your boob shrinks over the evening. That's gotta be odd. Or, like, do you drink one boob and then the other one's, like,
got to even them
full
up.
of wine and the other one's, like, a
when
little,
you're
like
married this long, you don't
So
really care if
I
they're even or not. You start to realize on your own that, like, oh, they're not symmetrical anymore.
Got
so
it.
I actually I lost quite a bit of weight in 2019. I kept one of my larger size bras because whenever I go to Red Rocks for a concert, I get out my concert bra and then I just take a baggie and I fill it with rum and then I put that baggie into another baggie and I do two of those and then I just put them like on the underside of my boob so even if I got like a pat search they're using the back of their hand it still squishes like a boob kind of. And then we just buy soda when we get there and then we would just drink a little bit of Coke and pour the rum into the Coke bottle.
Bacardi?
Yep.
Uh,
Definitely Bacardi.
Okay, so
I do need to follow up on this. I did reach out to Bacardi
shut up.
specifically and asked for comment. No, I did. I really did.
No, hold on, because
Um,
I've done my own research and it was consistent.
okay, let's hear your
Yeah,
research.
don't
I don't
spoil it.
have anything because they responded to my message and said, "Here is your rep that you can talk to about this." So they've passed the buck on responding to me. Bacardi has.
Okay.
They've assigned it to someone.
Kind of.
It's been assigned.
Kind of.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the time frame you referenced was like the late 1990s to like 2010. So like my
Mhm.
sophomore year of high school would have been about 2002, and I remember this very specifically being my drink of choice. And as you pointed out in your podcast, the statute of limitations is up, and so I can share that. What regulation? Okay, but I was validated in this response because I got a second opinion without providing context. So Mr. Cherry also agrees. We've only ever known it as rum and Coke, never Bacardi and Coke, ever.
Rum and
So
Coke. I've never heard Bacardi in
Yeah,
anything.
yeah,
That's okay,
it was rum
yeah.
and Coke.
so
That was my sophomore
there,
drink.
1943, Rum and Coke was the name of a song. But that was
Uh-huh.
rum and Coca-Cola. They didn't actually say
I love that
Bacardi in
song.
it. Bacardi has never been owned by the same company as Coca-Cola, so that was a potential idea that Natasha had brought up. Bacardi is actually an independently owned family-run company, whereas Coca-Cola is obviously publicly traded. But I discovered after the recording that they are collaborating on a pre-mixed Bacardi and Coke drink as of September 2024.
Yep.
But the memory that I had that I referenced of the late 90s to early 2010s, I was like, it's sometime like in the 2000s, right? Like between 97 and like
Is when you saw the
2010.
commercial that said cola.
Yeah, that's when I saw all of the Bacardi and cola, and there was a very iconic one where this girl comes up, she's like, "Hi, Bacardi guy. Hi, cola. Do you remember me?" And then they're like, "Of course we do." And then they start naming off names like Susan, Janet, this, that. And then they're like, "Veronica." And she goes, "Oh, you do remember." And they're like, "Yeah, right." And that was like such an iconic commercial. I think it might be like one of those things. I mean, I was in college for marketing at that time. I probably like was very keen and like
Oh.
drawn into it. But that was Bacardi and cola, and that was the introduction of when that change happened to me. But I did find only one but I found a 1970s Bacardi and Coke commercial where they sing about Bacardi and Coca-Cola. So
Very nice. Very nice.
it's
I love that Andrew Sister song too, the Rum and Coca-Cola song. I'm gonna have to listen to that tonight.
Before you fall asleep?
Oh, it'll be in my
Oh.
dreams. Do you think now Bacardi and Cola is going to be dead now that they're actually partnering straight up with Coke? Do you think they're going to go back to like calling everything Bacardi and Coca-Cola?
I don't know. I would be really interested to see if they revise the Bacardi guy and Coke, like he has a new sidekick. And so I think they may recast Cola to be Coke and a different person, right? And revive the commercials because I think they were so iconic and popular. Everybody who watched TV at that time, I think, remembers Bacardi guy
Yeah.
and Cola.
I found it so interesting, like how many commercials you remember and at the like level of detail. And I always thought it was because of your keen memory, just like your incredible memory. But I think there might be like a secondary piece to this. I think I forgot that you were a marketing person and I think you paid attention to commercials. Whereas the second I got a DVR, whatever year that was, I have not watched commercials since then. Like all of my commercials knowledge is like something in the 90s, maybe some early 2000s, and then I'm out. Like done. Like skip that shit. Skip, 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 skip. I'm like, how does she know all these commercials?
Well,
But you actually watched them.
those commercials, I mean, at that time, I was legitimately in college for marketing,
Yeah.
right? So that
You were like
time,
analyzing them.
I think a little bit, and just I mean, I
Yeah.
don't really watch commercials now. I'll catch an occasional commercial here or there, or like they're definitely like YouTube commercials or like social media video commercials. Like I'll be watching something and end up with a commercial that way. But as soon as it's available, I skip past it, right? Because you have to watch the first couple of seconds and then you can push the skip button. Yeah, skipping past that
Mhm.
bullshit.
I tried to watch something on live and I was like,
Kill me
I
now.
just I cannot. And so I was like, you know what?
I have a feeling I know what you were watching on live TV last week. I think we were all watching on live TV last
Okay,
week.
play a game. What was Cherry trying to watch on live TV?
This is not a hard game. You were watching election results,
I was
right?
not.
She was watching a sports ball game thing.
You were watching
She was
champion hot dog eating contest.
She was watching the World Series. Was the World Series that night? No, World Series was
No,
not that
I was
night.
trying.
You were watching the dog show, the international dog show.
You will all be probably not shocked to hear I was trying to watch The Golden Bachelorette because I just want old people to be loved and be happy. And they're like, my life is better now because I met you. And I'm like, wow, dude, camaraderie. Like, you go, dudes.
Aww.
It was loving. It was so loving.
That sounds amazing.
With their advanced age, do you think it's a good idea for me to watch it, seeing as how when I get involved and start to think about even mild celebrities, they start to pass on?
When I was listening in the pool to the very first episode and the second episode, and I told Jillian, I said, say a celebrity name right now and let's see if they die tomorrow.
So bad at the one that I came up with, and I was like, oh, no! As soon as it was out of my mouth, I was sad.
Did you freaking kill Betty White? I swear to God.
I did
Thank
not.
God.
No. Yeah, that was well before this happened. But the first name that I thought of
Okay.
is Sally Field, but she's alive and
She's
well.
alive and kicking, y'all. Like, so I think the curse might be broken.
Well, she can't kill them all. I mean, she thinks about a lot of celebrities, so.
I'm just double checking. Yes,
I
she
feel-
is.
I feel like we can debunk that, but I also feel better now. Just like we put it out into the universe, and she didn't kill Sally Fields. So,
Oh, I love it. But it's because, yeah, but this is the problem. I do wonder this. What are your thoughts, Miss Cherry? What if it only works if she's not thinking about her superpower? Like she has to naturally just think of the person, not think of who should I think of now to see if they die. Like I think, what if the intent like puts a backwards juju on it? You know what I
well,
mean?
then put the backwards intent juju so that Jillian, stop
Yeah.
killing celebrities. Like, just backwards and
Yeah.
type that up. Just be like, I think you're gonna die,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah. All right.
yeah.
So now Sally Field will never die ever. She's immortal.
Natasha, what
I
other
like it. I like it.
follow-ups do we need to get taken care of?
Well, I have
Mhm.
2. I was thinking about my days working for a credit card company and the time when, like, the call was for my own plane tickets. I just realized it wasn't my credit card. It was my boyfriend's credit card. We started at the company at the same time as each other, and he was pissed because, like, his surprise got ruined. Because I was thinking, I was like, "Why wasn't I more mad at him?" And then I was, like, thinking back to it, I was like, "Oh, that's right, it was his credit card." So his name showed up on my computer with the tickets, and I was like, "Where the fuck are you going? Like, what is this? Like,
So,
what's going on,
did you
bud?"
make the call or were you just like, "Holy shit, what the hell?" You
Oh, yeah.
made the call. Yeah.
Have to. You have to. It's in a queue. You can't just skip it. And also, I was like, "Where the fuck is this guy going that he didn't
Did
tell
you
me
have
about it?
to
Like, we live
did
together?"
you
You're like,
maintain professional or were you like, "This is Natasha from this?" Like,
"No!"
"Excuse me, it's Natasha. What the hell? Where are we going? Like, whose credit card?" Like, you know what I mean? What if somebody was listening in?
Yeah, and
Your manager.
it was his I don't care. They would have laughed their asses off, I think, because like, what are the chances? Like, could you imagine if, like, you're like, same situation, you're married, your husband's credit card comes up, one that you, like, didn't have access to, and you're like, "What are all these what are you doing?" Hopefully, they'd be smart enough to be like, "Oh, no, it's fraud, it's totally not me," but, like, you know what I mean? Oh, man. But, yeah, and it was just also I didn't even know he knew how to buy airplane tickets because he had never been on an
Yeah.
airplane before. He
Oh,
had never been on an airplane when he and I started dating, and me, I started flying, like, solo, like, in kindergarten. So, like, it was just this crazy dichotomy. So, yeah, he bought plane tickets to see my parents his first time on an airplane.
um,
Cute.
that's like the cutest story
Mhm.
outside of the whole like
Yeah.
potential credit card fraud. Like, that's really sweet.
I have a
Oh,
we've
it was
talked a
sweet.
lot about credit card fraud on this show, like, it's been, like, I mean, it's come up in a few episodes, but Cherry, do you feel like are you more in the camp of people who get their credit cards stolen more often, or are you more in Natasha's camp of, like, how do we have matching credit cards fraud stories?
I only know of credit card fraud stories because of this podcast, so I'm gonna go with the first one.
So,
So,
do I so am I a good target, apparently? Maybe I'm a good target,
Make
like
Yes, you make questionable purchases online. You're like, "Fuck it. Throw it to the wind, see what's up. I'm
I
going for
I
it."
bet you wanna know what I buy, y'all, don't you? I bet you're real interested.
I
so I
do.
have a
I do wanna
personal
know.
I have a personal belief at this point that Jillian has moved on from killing celebrities, and now she just secretly provides credit card
What?
information. No, I'm kidding. I'm
That's a
genuinely
crazy
kidding. But if you know Jillian, your credit card will be stolen, so go change your passwords. Like, just go change all your
No,
passwords.
no, it's normally my credit card that gets stolen. I can easily say that I've had my credit card number stolen at least 10 times in my life. Once from a
Nut
dog park, somebody got
nuts.
into my
Oh,
car at a dog park, rifled through my purse, took the credit cards out of the wallet and the $100 bill that I had in my but left the wallet, left the purse, closed the door, went. So when I left,
Oh, that's straight up theft. You had a stolen credit card.
I had a stolen out of my car at a dog park credit card, and then they went and they bought stuff from it less than 10 minutes after I had arrived at the dog park.
Let me guess, gas? They got
$1,000
gas
at the grocery store.
first, and
Yeah.
then yeah,
2 separate
yeah.
cards. One was $1,200 at the grocery store, one was $1,000 at the grocery store, and that one was my corporate American Express. So, that was fun.
that's a lot of hot dogs and macaroni and cheese.
I know. I mean, it would be impossible to
Girl.
calculate how much they stole because they literally could have bought anything in the grocery store.
Cherry, I have a question for you in the fraud space.
Okay. Cool.
How do you feel about my secret desire to be a romance scam victim?
Oh, are we
Because
talking about
Mr.
the guy?
Nigeria has
Yeah,
just
the
literally,
Nigeria guy.
yeah, he's completely abandoned me. He's not tried to romance scam me once, and I'm very sad about it.
You know what? At the end of the day, if he is not finding this podcast to be of valuable use on a Tuesday, which is also the day connected to tacos, you don't need him. So, you know what? Like, it's his loss.
Yeah.
It's his loss.
I would be so fun to scam. I would be the most fun romance scam victim he ever met, you know? But
You would
whatever,
give him
it's
a
fine.
run for his money. You would be all feisty
You have this sexy talking voice in Spanish.
to say one phrase. She only knows the one phrase, but
Oh no, I know a sexy
oh,
Spanish phrase. La luna está llena, mi cama vacía.
something about the
That
moon.
means the moon is full and my bed is empty.
Giggity.
Oh.
It's a lyric from a song that I
Well,
like.
Natasha, thanks for inviting us into your bed tonight to record those with you.
Literally.
I never invite you guys. You just keep coming. Like every time I'm on the podcast, I'm happen to be in bed and here you are. I had one other thing that I just wanted to clarify. So my product idea item, the thing is called, because I was like, I couldn't even understand what I was talking about when I listened to
Oh,
look at your sticker. Sorry guys, I got distracted.
I am
Squirrel.
holding up my new mug to showcase it at this moment, which I will put a picture on our Facebook page or on our newsletter, which if you missed the first episode of the newsletter, that comes out on the first of the month.
Cherry, let's talk about this. So Cherry has a hidden straw cup.
Mm-hmm.
Her straw retracts.
It does. It
But
does.
and it
Cherry, do
doesn't
you
leak.
only put water in it? Because I feel like that kind of lid, I'm always scared to put any other liquids in because of like how hard that kind of straw is to clean for me. That like I only ever use water in those.
Well, yeah. So this is my water like receptacle.
It's solely water.
And
Okay.
I use it for a week and then on Sundays I change it out. And then this other
Mhm.
receptacle is for like other beverages. So this is a wine glass. So
Oh, so you don't put your wine in the sippy cup.
I
Okay. Damn.
No.
don't.
So
Damn.
I also have a dedicated, I only put water in my big cup. And then if I want another beverage, like currently my children and I are in the flavored Italian soda kind of space, like Dutch Brothers, but at
Mhm.
home. We currently have an embarrassing selection of syrups. I am embarrassed. Like
I think you have more flavors than a normal grocery store, to be honest. Like, I wonder if you go over to King Soopers,
oh,
if they're
100%.
only gonna have like 10 flavors.
I they do not have 10 flavors. They have like 5 flavors at King Soopers. I have like 5 times the flavors as your normal grocery store. Hello, welcome to hyperfixation and ADHD. Okay, so if I'm gonna make a flavored soda, that has to go into a different cup, no handle, but with a straw. Okay, the separate cup,
Do electrolytes count? This is my
separate
problem.
cup.
So I drink
I put
it's a separate cup.
I
Okay.
put
Yep, this
electrolytes
is
in this.
just
Okay, so you do.
Yeah.
Okay. So
straight
that's
water
like
in
to
my
me,
water.
that's something other than water. Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
a powder though, so I feel like it's okay.
Yeah. Because I use the powdered stuff too, like at least once a day. So I'm like, should I be using two separate cups, one for fully plain water and one for, but I don't use a straw really, so I haven't really like thought about it too much, but I wonder if I had a straw, if I'd be like, oh no, the electrolyte stuff's going to get stuck in the straw.
No, you just shake it up, like, because I use the powder. You just like shake it and then it's fine. And then you keep drinking the water through the straw. And then that's like self cleaning.
But now the electrolytes are in it.
No, because then you drink more water. So then I think it cleans,
Got it. You drink the
like,
water after, flushes it out.
exactly. Yeah.
Got it. Yes. Thank you
But
for walking me through that.
fun
So
fact,
stupid tonight. Oh,
fun fact. So I think you were alluding to a company that rhymes with schmop schmockets.
No, I said pop socket.
Yes.
I was looking for pop
Okay, I
socket,
wasn't
but
sure.
what I have
They're
is
they're based in Boulder, Colorado, for the record. So shout
I did
out
not know that.
Colorado. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that thing that you just showed, Jillian, so Jillian was showing the concept of the item that I think should be, like, built into big, heavy cups,
Yeah.
big, dumb cups, whatever people call it, is, called a telescopic phone grip holder. So if anybody actually
Ooh.
wants to, like, look at it, like right, because when we were describing it,
You can go to
I was like,
Facebook or subscribe to the Mental Mudslides newsletter or just Google it.
yeah,
Okay. So, very interestingly, I not only grip the handle part, but the handle is open at the bottom. So, I like to slide my hand against the cup and then, like, to put my
just
thumb
rest it.
around. Yeah, so my thumb is on one side of the handle and my hand is kind of curling against the cup, and then the back of my hand is up against the handle, so it basically is, like, hooked over
You
my
use it more like
hand.
a hook. Yeah.
I
You
use it
use it
like
more
a
like
hook.
a hook than a
Uh-huh.
handle.
Yeah, totally, 100%.
But how much are you moving around that you're like, I need to constantly have my water bottle in my hand? Because if I think about my
Wha
day, like I just grab it and I'm like sip sip and I put it down.
So, when I first met Mr. Jillian, he actually made a specific comment about this recently, and I think it made me reflect on this, and then I actually bought a new water bottle before Natasha brought this up, which is really interesting. But when I first met Mr. Jillian years ago, I used to have a cup with me 100% of the time. Like, you would never see me without a water cup. And it had a handle and it was bigger than this, like, 32-ounce one that I have now. It was like a jug
Like a big
with a
gulp.
handle. Yeah. Yeah. And I constantly drank water, like constant, constant, constant. And then I just kind of like felt like it was inconvenient. And then I was reflecting on when he mentioned that to me. I was like, that's weird. Why don't I? And then I thought about what was different about that cup and I was like, let me see if the handle makes a difference. I have increased my water intake a ton since buying this. It was the best $6 I've spent.
So
It was on
that is
clearance,
so
y'all.
wild to me.
You know I'm frugal. It was on clearance. That's why I chose this pink with this weird, like, has a weird pattern on it, but I'm just going to cover it up with Mental Mudslide stickers.
There we go. I love it. I don't like handles.
What?
I don't like handles. Cherry, do you have happy sad drinks?
Okay, so I literally have a sticky note on my computer from my business coach, and it says like, what's your target goal for the month? What's your stretch goal for the month? And what's your popping champagne goal for the month? So, like, champagne is absolutely the celebratory drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's a Tuesday and I want to get tacos, or I can just make it in time for my local happy hour. And this new restaurant has half price margaritas. So that's like my happy drink of choice because I'm like, ooh,
Mhm.
happy hour. And then and then I
I
just
like that. I like that. Oh my gosh. Happy hour drink. Hello. That makes it happy.
it,
Oh my
Oh my
god.
gosh.
I totally didn't even see it. It was right in front of my face.
Cherry.
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 It was
Mind
right in
blown.
front.
Mind blown.
It's a happy drink. That's why it's called happy
Yeah.
hour. What the
happy
fuck?
hour, happy hour.
Oh my god.
Natasha, you and I have
Wow.
contributed to getting Jillian out of her car and into a Mexican restaurant for a margarita.
There's there's nothing that will stop her.
No. Well,
You say margarita, she
ish.
says where? Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
It is true. It is true. I love the margaritas, but I also they are kind of that like change your mood drink for me because as Cherry was referencing,
Yeah.
whenever I'm a little bummed, I sit in my car, like I'll go somewhere and I'll go do a task. And then I come back home and I sit in my car in the garage in the car like unwilling to go inside because I have nothing else to go do errand wise and I don't want to go be sad inside. And so I just kind of stay, like, so it just kind of feels like no man's land. Sadness.
And then
How long do you think is the longest I've ever sat in my car in one of those situations?
oh, I love that we're just introducing new games into the podcast.
3 hours. I'm going to go 3 hours.
Much less than that.
See?
$1, Bob.
It's all uphill from there.
$1, Bob.
So
No,
I would
you should
say
go. No, you have to go to. Wait, no, that's not true. I forgot how to play that game. Are we playing Price is Right soon?
We are
that
now.
is
Oh
in
my God, we're
March.
playing Price is Right soon in person.
Cherry.
We're playing Price is Right soon, Cherry.
Wait, hold on.
Do you want to
You're
go to a
coming.
live
We're
Price
going to
is
Price is
Right?
Right
You'll
live.
have to. Do you want to come to New Mexico to go to live Price is Right in March?
Will there be a
Yeah.
refrigerator bag?
Oh, not only that, we'll do a
Well-
margarita crawl because that's how they do crawls here. Yeah.
Margarita and queso crawl.
Can we get corn
I
dogs?
mean, yes, we can
Yes.
get corn dogs, and then we can go to the Price is Right.
I am in. I will have Mr. Cherry drive me down there because let's be honest, I'll probably be screwed for like a couple days.
Okay, so I couldn't convince Natasha to go with me to Florida.
Fuck that.
Does he do the windows to the walls?
No.
No.
He wishes.
Here's the thing. I don't really
He wishes.
I don't really know people, celebrities.
All right.
I'm like I know
Cherry, you're not missing out. You're not missing out. It's Florida. It's the worst. I tried Jilly Beans. I listened to like 2 or 3 songs. Well, that's an exaggeration. I listened to the beginnings of 2 or 3 of his songs and I said, "No, thank you. No, thank you.
I'm gonna-
I don't want to like poop on your parade. You're just not for me." You've got lots of fans. I'm sure what you do is the best thing ever in the world that you do the things. It's just not my cup of tea.
I just
I'm
feel
no,
like
thank you.
I feel like whenever Flo Rida drops a song, it's indicative that summer's right on its way. He's trying to hit that summer song of the year. And I have to say, he successfully does. I'm gonna have to see if there's any stats on that. But he hits summer jams, right? And they're just popular for a month or two and then they fade out into oblivion. So I look forward to it because I hate the frozen tundra that is the winter that I live in. So I think that he has like an extra special. Like it's like, oh, Flo Rida dropped his new song. Summer's coming. He's like the groundhog of the music industry.
Well, Jillian, I have a Southwest companion pass through the end of the year. So
Ooh,
I'm just
let's do
saying,
it.
like, if we need to do a Vegas refrigerator bag tour,
Ooh, let's
I
do
mean,
it.
like
Roulette. You
Travel
girls could
roulette.
that was like the best idea ever. And I have a companion pass.
We
So
get great ideas together.
Natasha has
The
great
cake
ideas.
crawl. We
Queso.
were like, what are we going to do for Jillian's birthday? We have
Queso
to. And I was like,
mhm.
queso crawl.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we didn't make it very far.
No.
We did not make it very far.
But we did order like a gummy bear drink that was bigger than my head. It was the worst.
Yeah, it
but
was adorable. It was disgusting. Yeah.
All right.
Oh my God.
Well, I think we need to wrap this up, ladies. There was so much to follow up with. Cherry, thank you.
There's so
Thank you
much.
for
There was
coming on
so much.
on the pod. And Natasha, as always, I'm sure you're just a second away from sleeping.
Thank you for staying awake.
It was a struggle, but I did it. And I'm so glad to have seen your adorable faces. And I'm sorry that I'm not my normal chipper self. I'm too old to have as much alcohol as I had last night, and it's impacted my ability to speak. So, mamas, daddies,
Pet
thank you for
mamas?
sticking with us.
What about pet mamas? Can we have a Mental Mudslides pet mamas and daddies?
I think no, we're not gonna expand past that. It's just mamas and daddies. You could be a mama of whatever the hell you want. You could just be a hot mama. You could be like, even if you don't have kids, it doesn't matter. If you are a kidless male or identify as male and you want to be a daddy, that's fine. It doesn't mean that you have to have children. You could just be a daddy.
Oh,
you
no,
know what
yeah.
I mean?
Could be a zaddy.
Zaddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Mhm.
All right.
yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us tonight. Bye, everyone.
Bye.